They could be poisonous bacteria living in the fish that you eat, just like this one. And the worst part? You wouldn't even know it. Because right now, the only way to check for this bacteria is to send a sample to a lab, which then will take 3 to 5 days to get the result. And by then, the fish could already be in your stomach. Ugh. But a Swedish startup called Layerlogic is trying to change that. They're developing a tech that can detect these bacteria within 10 minutes of harvest.
My name is Sebastian. And my name is André, and we are co-founders of Layerlogic,
the team that are going to keep you from getting sick when eating fish.
And I sat down with them to find out how. My name is Mohammed and I talked to Startup over Swedish Fika, the concept of taking a break from your day to have some coffee and something sweet. So let's go have Fika with Layerlogic. Wait, I should probably clean up first. Oh. All right, welcome guys. How are you doing?
Thank you.
We have with us Layerlogic for today's Startup Fika. We got some Fika, we got some founders. Yeah. Tell me a little about who you are and what's your stories.
Wanna go?
Sure. My name is Sebastian, one of the co-founders of Layerlogic, officially the CFO now, but we're also quite a small team, so we're doing a bit of everything. So amongst other things, I've got the financial bits, but also doing quite a bit in the lab.
Andrea, also one of the founders, the CEO. I couldn't agree more with Sebastian. It's we have a couple of roles, but we basically do whatever is needed for the company, and that's probably how it's gonna stay for a couple of years.
Nice. Yeah, 2 on the business side, 3 in total, right? We're missing Eva, which sadly couldn't be here.
Yeah, she's actually in Germany right now.
Oh, she's still doing work.
Yeah, she is.
Internationally.
She is. Yeah.
Great. Now let's get to this question you were looking forward to answering. How did this all start? Layerlogic, what is it about?
Yep. If we look at the start, how we met each other and how we met the more technical people in our team as well, is through Chalmers School of Entrepreneurship. So long story short, it's a master's program which is basically about matching people that want to be entrepreneurs, that are studying to be it, and then researchers oftentimes that come with ideas that they want to commercialize. And that's where we met each other, us two and Ebba, and we also met Nunes, August, and Santos, who are the 3 technical co-founders of the team.
There you go. Yeah. And how did the idea of Layerlogic come to be?
Like in the beginning, so there was August Jürgens, who is a professor at Chalmers University. Him and his PhD student basically took on the challenge of finding a new, cheaper and more scalable way of producing graphene field effect transistors, which is basically a very good foundation when you're creating a biosensor. And they succeeded. So they turned towards Chalmers Ventures and said, hey, we don't know what to do with this. What are we gonna do? And that's where me, Sebastian and Ebba came into the picture. So we basically looked at the technology that they had. They said to us, okay, this might be applicable in biosensing. So we basically scouted the market to find some sort of market fit for the product, or basically what we could develop it towards. And we landed in a bacteria called Listeria monocytogenes, which is basically very common in salmon and other fishes, and also within charcuterie and meat. And when talking to those customers, they basically scream for a product that could help them with their problem that they are facing, which is to detect bacteria fast on site within the production facility, basically.
Could you give some example about the markets you tried to see if this product would work on?
We went into we talked with the car industry, like the sensors for cars, if you drive a Tesla and you see you have a person on the right, that's a sensor feeling that basically. So we went in towards that business. It turned out that our chips were they were too sensitive to heat, I think. That's why we didn't proceed with that business or that industry. Looked into space, we looked into more life science, so general health hospitals, where our technology could potentially be a solution for finding sepsis early, to basically know what kind of antibiotics that should be implemented or that should be given to the person. But we basically followed our customers, the ones that screamed the loudest, which was in the fish industry and in the charcuterie industry. They need this kind of product, and we are doing our best to deliver it to them.
So basically you know a lot of knowledge about many industries now, but now you've landed on one and you're just pursuing the fish market, right?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, and what other competitors do you have out there? What differs you guys from what's already there?
So it kind of like depends if you look at things that are already there. So let's start with that, I guess. And there are two main things today. So the most common thing is you take your samples in the food factory, whatever it might be. You send that sample to an accredited laboratory, and then they do their analysis, and then you get the results. It's very secure and works very well. Only problem is it takes about 3 to 5 days. We've heard examples of up to 11.
11, yeah.
So it takes way too long, especially if you're working with fresh produce that you can't just hold on to because of the shelf life. The second option that is like semi-popular is that you do swabs and then you incubate them on site, and they're faster, so they take about 24 to 48 hours. But still 24 to 48 hours with salmon, for example, is way too long. So those are the things that are like the main things on the market at the moment. And then up in commerce, there are quite a few that are working with light-based sensors. Some that are working more with cameras and AI to detect earlier. Some that are using some, basically, long story short, you shoot the light onto a surface, it bounces, and then depending on how it bounces, you read that and say, okay, there's bacteria or not. They can also be very quick, but the main, I would say, at least, like benefit that we have is that we can be very, very specific in what we're looking for. So we can detect only the dangerous parts of Listeria, which is Listeria monocytogenes, for example, whereas they can have a hard time telling those apart.
Yeah, and what potential upside is there to solving this problem? Because you've mentioned now that your customer is screaming for this. What are they most excited about?
We can take an example from, so Italian media reported, which day was it? I think it was Sunday night. No, it was Tuesday night. So they reported a case where they have found Listeria monocytogenes in smoked salmon in Italy. When they were about to distribute it, then the Italians that were distributing it got to hear from Norway that, oh shit, the food that you are about to distribute is probably contagious with Listeria monocytogenes. And this means that that specific salmon producer, according to Italian media, so they produced the salmon, or no, they breeded the salmon in Norway.
Raised it, yeah.
Raised, yeah. That's probably a better word. So they raised the salmon in Norway, they picked it up, they then sent it to Poland, where they produced it, basically cut off the head and filleted it and stuff like that, and then packed it, and then they shipped it to Italy. And why it didn't get recognized that it was Listeria monocytogenes earlier is because they probably used an accredited lab where they sent the sample away after they took up the salmon from the pond where they raised it. So swabbed it probably and then sent it to a accredited lab, but then unfortunately it took probably 5 days, maybe even more, in order for them to get the result, which means that the salmon has already been shipped from Norway to Poland, produced, and then shipped to Italy. And unfortunately, I have not double or triple checked it because I don't think that the article showed it yet, but it might also be so that that specific salmon also ended up in some of the Italians' plates and probably in their stomach as well, which can be very dangerous for a person within, which is risk group.
Yeah, part of a risk group.
I think it's pretty easy translation. Yeah, but that's part of a risk group basically. So and the risk groups is basically the same as for COVID. So it's elderly, very newborn people that are pregnant, and that has a bad immune system. But so with our product, because that's what the question were, we could basically detect if the Listeria were present already when they brought up the fish from the pond where they raised it basically.
Then it doesn't have to be shipped.
Exactly. And there's a shit ton of carbon dioxide that could be saved there. There's a lot of salmon that can be saved there, so you don't have to waste it, because even though it has some Listeria monocytogenes in it, you can still heat it up to that, what is it, 75 degrees, 72 degrees? 72 degrees. So basically you can do it in like you can produce it in a different way. It doesn't have to be smoked basically, which means that you can save it by creating a different product from the salmon, which means that you would save a lot of salmon from being wasted.
So
in
both
this specific case.
salmon, carbon, win-win-win.
Okay, so basically we are producing chips as we speak. We did not manage to finish that before you arrived. So we kind of need to go and put them kind of in a box. They're cleaning right now, so we need to do that. But you can follow if you want to.
Yeah, of course. Let's do it.
Awesome.
Sweet.
Basically what we're going to do now is that we are doing the last step of our cleaning process of the chips before putting on the special sauce, which basically helps us to detect specific bacteria. So they are currently now under a cleaning process, and we are now going to remove that from the last part of that, and to that basically put in a box and name that box and tag it with whatever we have done in order to clean it. And then on Monday probably, we're gonna functionalize it with, is it aptamers on Monday we're gonna do?
Yes, on Monday we're doing aptamers.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
Which is, yeah, maybe you can explain that better than me.
Yeah, well, essentially it's a receptor. So what we do is we put receptors on top of the chips, which allows us to be very specific in what we're looking for. And yeah, aptamers is one way of doing it. There are many others. You can use actually carbohydrates. You can use antibodies as like the most common. But we're experimenting it right now a bit to see what gives the best results.
Cool. Well, here's some behind the scenes for Layerlogic, guys.
Yeah.
Well, now we're back.
Now we're back.
That was pretty cool, seeing the lab behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But now back to the Fika, right? And let's talk about, sales. How was the first sale that you made with a customer?
I'm not 100% sure, but I think I remember it this way. So we were basically applying for a grant, I think, and which we did not get, unfortunately, but we applied for it at least. And we needed a customer in it, basically. And I mean, we had been in contact with different customers before, but okay, maybe this is the first, but it's one of the first one at least. And so we had, of course, a list of potential leads, and we basically picked one. We called them, and then 30 minutes later, they agreed to both be a part of the grant, and they also wanted to do some tests beside of the grant. Even though the grant didn't go through, they still wanted to do these different tests because they wanted a product that bad, so they were willing to take us to their factory, do some tests in order for us to basically just develop our product, really, because by that time we couldn't really give them that much information. We could basically just, or what we knew that we needed was that we knew that we needed to go out to a customer site and see, okay, how does our sensor react when in a real environment, basically, so in a production facility? How does it react to all the surroundings, the salts, the detergents and everything?
And do you think like you use some sales methods here, or is it just like cold calling, hoping for the best? Or did you like know the person?
No, we had no idea who the person was. It was cold calling, and then the product, I would say, spoke for itself, or the problem that we're gonna
sell them on the vision.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, and now that you're getting some traction and momentum, how do you plan on monetizing this startup?
Yeah. So, I mean, first things first, we gotta actually have a product that we can comfortably sell when it comes to safety and stuff. So that's kind of number one. But then after that, the plan is basically to start with local actors. So let's say Sweden to begin with. Start selling as many chips as possible to them, really. We're probably looking for some sort of subscription-based model, as we're really selling three parts, which one is the one-time use biosensor, then we have a readout electronics that we're connected to, and then the software that presents results and does a lot more than that, but short version. So do some sort of subscription model on that. And then also via these Swedish actors move into Norway, because Norway is actually, in absolute numbers, insanely enough, the largest exporter of fish in the world. And salmon specifically, where you have a lot of Listeria testing, so that's a really good market for us. So we're kind of aiming to do Sweden, Norway, and then from there, expand geographically. And at the same time, we want to also develop for other bacteria. So Listeria is one part, but then you also have like Salmonella, you have E. coli, and there are a bunch in the food industry alone.
So there's a lot of potential.
Exactly. So we can go for that. And then further along the line, we might also explore other markets, such as agriculture or medtech or water safety or whatever it might be.
Well, I can't wait to see what more you guys cook up.
Neither can we. We'll see.
Yep.
All right.
No, but yeah, maybe we should fill in on that actually, because we have not only been able to detect Listeria monocytogenes, we've also been able to detect Streptococcus pneumonia and also a biomarker for prostate cancer.
Oh, damn.
So, am I missing something? No?
No, so those are the ones that we've done in-house,
Yeah. And it was the market size that guided you.
Kind of, yeah. And also we weren't really...
Experts.
No, but yeah, that too. That too. But I mean, we weren't really... for our motivation, we weren't really into going down the medtech path. So we wanted to find a market that was more accessible and that could be not an easy, I would say, because it's definitely not easy, but a bit more low-hanging fruit, let's say, than the medtech market. So that's why we chose to do it.
Yeah, it is what it is, right? And we really prioritized fast go-to-market.
Yeah.
And then once we have that, since that is a big enough market to actually sustain us and to develop from there, it's kind of makes sense to start off there, and then from there we can grow into other things.
Keep the R&D along the road.
Yeah.
Exactly,
Yeah. Sick. And thinking about the tools that you guys have developed throughout these 2 years now, ish. What kind of things, what kind of tools, maybe AIs, or have helped you on your team, especially since you have 3 people on the research side, 3 people on the business side as co-founders?
Yeah.
I mean, ChatGPT. I mean, of course, that helps a lot with a lot of almost all the stuff that we do on a daily basis as well. I mean, it helps a lot. I mean, I think when it released in the fall of 2023, it was, right? I think
Maybe it was, yeah.
I think I bought the premium version right away, and I've used it pretty much every day ever since. On good and bad. I mean, I'm having a hard time. I'm realizing in reading texts nowadays and actually getting it into my brain. But I mean, it is what it is. You take losses, you take wins. But that's one of the tools that we use. I don't know if fuck it. It doesn't matter if we market stuff. That's Bolago. Really good when having owners meetings and or shareholder meetings and the board meetings and stuff like that. Really good tool. What does Bolago do? I mean, it basically helps you to structure out your shareholder meetings and also your board meetings, so it's very easily accessible for all the people within the company, for all the people that's going to attend the meeting, and for all the people that is going to lead the meetings basically, and it's easy to sign with everyone that's part of the meeting and stuff like that. So it's a really good tool for founders, I would say.
For admin stuff, right?
For
to
admin
make that
stuff.
easier, pretty much.
Yeah.
Then of course we're using we're using Office, we're using some project management stuff as well, kind of basic stuff really. So those are I guess the main things that we use that with
Canva.
brought in. Yeah, Canva as well for making presentations.
That's plenty.
Yeah, but I mean, it is also on the production or product development side. I mean, it's SolidWorks, CATIA, and
there are loads of software.
There's a lot of softwares that we're using.
I
don't know. Could probably ramble on for a long time.
It's a deep tech company.
Yeah.
Gonna need stuff. All right, let's talk a bit about your challenges that you face so far. What's been the proudest moment during your journey?
I mean, as I do a lot of work in the lab, as I mentioned, I think for me it's going to be the first time that we actually detected Listeria properly. Because it was such a hard time, because we had a lot of problems with suppliers and stuff for the things that we actually needed to be able to do the testing. And that was a terrible experience going through, because we were also in a kind of situation where we needed to get that done to be able to go further with the investment round, and we were lacking cash, so we needed to go further with the investment round. And then we had to wait for, I think first it was 2 months, and that was okay, that's fine, because we had stuff to do for 2 months. But then they pushed the delivery for another 2 months, and when we got that message, it was just okay, this might kill the company, sort of. So we started calling around to everyone and everything, trying to find something that we could use. Didn't really find anything. It's not that easy to get your hands on receptors for dangerous bacteria. So when we got the things, finally got to do the tests, got it working, that was a really, really good moment.
Nice. And what's been the hardest challenge now? In contrast, is it getting the money? Let me.
I mean, to getting the money was very hard, and also to, like, in the beginning, to just specify what kind of money we needed and how much money we needed, because we were off by a mile.
Yep, and we also did a lot of pivots in it.
Yeah,
went back and forth a lot. So that was definitely a challenge. Like,
it was small cost, but you didn't expect.
No, but it was like when we started, we were
we were naive, right?
We were naive. Yeah. That's definitely the word. I mean, we thought that in the beginning we could reach the market with just what was it, 500,000 Swedish?
Yeah.
And in the end, we realized that maybe 7 months after we started trying to raise, we realized, fuck, we need 10 times more than what we originally thought. So then it was like, okay, now it's time to switch up. We need to look for 5 million Swedish crowns instead. And that made the time to when we could actually close the round that's one of the reasons where it took even longer time than expected. But yeah, I think one of the challenges as well that we had was that we were supposed to be cash out in November last year. So almost 6 months before we closed our investment round. And I don't know how, but somehow we just fought it through and made it to June when the money finally arrived in our account. And I don't know, that we just fought that through like a team, I would say, is probably one of the biggest challenges and one of the proudest moments through our short history so far.
You just struck it through.
Yeah, I guess that's what you need to do.
If you could start Layerlogic all over today, what would you have done?
Took into account the things we just talked about. Of course, on the money front, we would have had a better strategy from day one. That would have made it a lot easier to raise, and the timeline would have been a lot better. Taking into account that large companies that supply things take time, and a lot of it. And if you don't keep that in mind as a small startup, that's going to hurt you. So making sure to place orders way ahead of time, even before you know if you actually need it almost. And then I think also just making sure that everyone's on the same page on R&D and spending a lot of time actually doing tests in the lab. Because we are a deep tech startup. From this get-go, really, we underestimated how hard it would be to actually get it working properly. We've come a long way, and we kind of keep making adjustments so that we are able to spend more time just doing tests in the lab like we need to do. So I think starting that earlier as well.
Yeah, definitely. Don't underestimate the time that needs to be spent on developing a product when you're a deep tech company. Yeah, because it takes time.
Yeah, and it's very classic to say that.
I can see the pain in your eyes.
Yeah.
It takes time.
It's so fun because we knew this when we started the company. We knew we weren't going to underestimate it. So then we put some margin on and we're like, okay, now we're safe. No, probably do that by 10 times more than you think.
Yeah.
And there's much more learnings along the way, and I'm sure that message is going to keep popping up.
Probably, everyone's that's in deep tech says like, nah, you're stupid. The timeline that you have put down, that's not going to work. You're going to have to take that times 10. And everyone said it to us as well. And
everyone's traumatized.
Yeah, that's kind of what it feels like. And everyone's in deep tech is saying the same thing to each other, but no one is apparently listening.
Now, just ramping up. Is there any questions that you wish people would ask more about?
Good question.
I don't know, but a question that could be fun for you to ask people is, because I think that you could get a lot of different perspectives on it, because I think that people, let's say, why the fuck do you do this? That's a good question, I think, because I think there's...
Alright, a new cut. Why the fuck do you do that?
No, but seriously, because it's very... I think that all people that tries to do this kind of thing, like do a startup or try to run this kind of business, they do it for very different reasons. And I think it's very fun to hear why people do what they do, because there's so much, like you sacrifice a lot doing what we do, of course, like spending 5 years studying and then barely being able to take out a salary. That feels like a really, really stupid thing to do. So why do people still do that?
And why do you do that, André?
I've thought about this a lot. Like, why do I do what I do? Especially like when we were struggling a lot with it, like bringing in money. Like, oh shit, why do I do this? And people around me ask, like, why do you do this? Shouldn't you look for another job or whatever? No, I'm not. I'm 100% committed to this, and this is what I want to do.
Yeah. I mean, if you don't believe in it,
who else?
The buyer won't, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
Who else is going to do it? But I mean, for me, it's always been down to like the feeling of being part of a team. I've always loved being part of teams, like sport teams. It's been in the past, it still is. Stupidly enough, I still play 2 different sports. Don't know why, but I still do it because I love it. And it's very, very similar to being part of a sports team and being in a startup, I would say. It's very, very similar, because you will need to fill all the different positions on the team. People are good at different things. Some are better at scoring, some are better at saving the ball, and some are better running down the sidelines, right? So you need, and then you have the coach, which you can compare to the board maybe, and then you have the owners, that could be the owners of the football club or whatever. So,
some coaches can be very greedy.
Your words, not mine. No, but I think it's just that feeling of being part of like a group with different backgrounds, both knowledge-wise and culturally, getting together for having one big problem. I mean, we have thousands of problems, but having one main goal, which is to take this technology from where it is today to having a market launched and, I mean, being distributed all over the world, really. And I think it's something like so beautiful in that, with a team getting together, giving all types of angles on one specific problem and then solving it together.
Yeah,
and,
it's the journey, not
exactly. And it's
destination.
It's so much fun. So much fun.
What about you? Why do you do this?
Well, I think that's a very, very good motivation for why to do it. So I completely agree with that. I guess I could elaborate a bit on some other things. So one thing for me is kind of the same thing, but not really, but that you actually make a difference in what you do. Like if you look at someone who's working at a really big corporation, they have this super small role and task that they do. And then they have a team, and then they are a part of a team, and then they're a part of a team. And like if you didn't do your job for a month, no one that was a couple of like levels up would even know it. And that for me is just doesn't ring a bell for me. No, exactly. So that's a big one. And then also kind of related, that you actually get to do a lot of different things. So like I can be in an investor meeting, customer meeting, do budgeting, be in the lab and make new onboarding material in one day. And that kind of flexibility in what you're doing and having to manage all of those things at the same time is also really fulfilling for me.
Yeah. Well, that was one of the questions you wished you were asked. Is there any other ones?
I don't think I have any actually.
No, I think you've done a good job with asking the right type of questions.
Amazing. And what's next for Layerlogic? What's the next big step?
Yeah, so as we've talked a lot about R&D, we have development left to do. So now we need to get the consistency right, basically set the recipe, as we like to call it, on how we actually produce every time, the standard operating procedures, if you want to be more official. So that's a big one, do that, and then basically get out to customers again. Start doing more paid pilots together with them to see how it reacts in the real world again. Hopefully by then we'll have something that actually works out in the real world. That's the goal, right?
Yep.
And yeah, go from there.
We want to reach a market launch,
Of
right?
course, yeah.
That's the main goal, right? We want to reach a market launch.
An estimated time.
Estimated time. Give us a year.
Give us a year. All right, you'll hear from me in a year. Yeah. I want to see if my fish has bacteria.
Hopefully we'll try that.
Yeah.
And hopefully even earlier.
Hopefully.
Yeah. because when people join us, when we try to onboard people, it was one of the things that we say to them is that things can turn in an afternoon about what you're gonna do. So I specifically know that when I talked with our software guys that started this Monday, that I think I changed what they were gonna do 3 times on the first day between 12 and 5. I came into them like, oh shit, we need to do this, and then I switched again because I got phone calls saying that, oh yeah, but we're probably not gonna do that right now. We're gonna push that until after New Year, and then yeah. So we don't know. Things happen very fast, and it might be so that we are done with a lot of the tests that we talked about just 2 months ahead of us, and we can reach a market launch even this spring. But yeah, I guess that's the next big thing for us. Yeah.
Amazing. Well, I'm out of questions. Thank you guys for taking part of this Startup Fika.
Yeah.
And now we're gonna enjoy some more Fika off camera. So yeah, thank you again, André and Seb and Layerlogic.
Thank you.
See you guys in the next one.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, let's go.